What's up, everybody? This is your man, DJ Square Knot, and you're tuned into my podcast, Square Knot Live, where we talk about music, real issues, meet great people, and get into fun and engaging topics. With that being said, let's get into it. All right, what's up, everybody? This is your man, DJ Square Knot. Let me get this volume right this time because um, last night I decided to go ahead on and do this. I was sitting here with wifey, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try this out. And of course, I had a couple things that was in out of sync in terms of my audio, and it was the worst in terms of afterwards. And see, I didn't know until after I had done all that talking for like 28 minutes that I had an out of sync audio channel. Um, but now I'm back, and we're going to talk about that and what I'm going to do before I get into any of it. And, I'm sipping, y'all. I hope you guys have had an opportunity to have a great day. It's a great Sunday. And that you have been keeping yourselves quite hydrated because at 95, 96 degrees out there, you don't have anything to drink. You don't have any. I'm not saying that this is the best method of hydration. So don't, don't sit there and say this is what he said. But um, I just happen to be sipping on this now because I've had like 4 or 5 bottles of water already up to this point, and I would definitely be drinking a lot more this afternoon. Um, but I just wanted to come on and talk about a topic that a lot of us shy away from for numerous reasons, especially men. So, and one of the things that I want to be able to do is just bring it all to the front. And we're going to do that here on Square Not Live podcast. Like it said at the beginning, my intro, we're going to talk about music. We're real people. We're going to talk about great topics. We're going to have fun and engaging opportunities and times. So it's going to be all about that, because that's what I am. And I'm going to be real. I'm going to be transparent. And, I'm going to tell the truth. And the reason behind that is because I don't want to have to step over my words in the future. If you visit squarenotlive.com, you'll actually see that on my webpage at the bottom. And that's my quote. And that's because I believe in that. So that's the deal there. Um, so getting back to what I was talking about last night, I had several of you chime in last night. I got 18 comments on it, and out of those 18 comments, I'll just read through all the ones here. Of course, my man Jay Rock, he stepped in and he said salute. And then I'll go into why these other ones. So the question I posed last night, and I see my wifey on here, Mrs. Anitra Wilson. I see DJ Black Rob. I see Dave G in here. What's up, my brother? I see my other brother, Mike L, DJ Mike L. I see Courtney, DJ Big Body. I call her BB. What's up? I hope everybody's doing well. And give me some likes. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and everything sounds okay before I get started on this thing, and make sure that I'm not echoing. So please let me know that, because this is the podcast that's actually going to replace the one that's on my podcast site right now, which you can go to is podcast.squarenotlive.com. So, so the question that when I started talking about love last night, love is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful topic. It's a beautiful uh, thing to understand and to have and to give. So what I did, I see you, BB. What I did is I actually posed a question, and this question came about because on my birthday, my wife she brought me breakfast in bed, and when she brought that to me, um, I was sitting there and I saw it was on the plate, and I said, what did you put in it? And she said, I put love in it. And I said, okay, you put love in it. I said, what flavor of love? And so she kind of, was said something real quick, and then she went back downstairs and I had breakfast. Now, when I posted it, a lot of people thought that was a sexual innuendo, but it was not a sexual innuendo. It was a true question. And the question was, after I sat there and I thought about it for a while, I said, you know what? Let me come at it from this angle here and let me explain it to you what I'm talking about. And that is love. And I said, if you, the love that you give, that comes from you, the love that comes out of your heart, that you give another person, if you could give it a flavor, what would that flavor be and why? So um, I had some like, ooh, but then I explained to him like this, and I gave this example here. And I said, my flavor of love is filet mignon. And people were like, okay, why? And I said, the reason behind that is because the person, the recipient of my love, will experience a well seasoned and tasteful lifestyle. So that's what I was talking about. So when you guys say, what is your flavor of love? And please type in the chat box because I am reading those from time to time. And what I'll do is I will definitely call out your name here in the podcast for sure. And I see Solid Professor, what's up, my man? So I will definitely call you out and just answer that question. If your love had a flavor, what flavor would it be and why? So I asked that question, and my boy DJ Rod Flash, he said Kobe beef. And he said the most tenderest. And he said you have to love yourself first before you can love someone else. And actually I had already said that, and then I looked down over in the chat block box, and Flash had it right there. And it's the honest to God truth. When you are before you can give someone love, before you can truly identify that you are receiving love, you have to know that you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself and know how to love yourself, you won't know when someone is giving it to you, and you definitely won't know how to give it. So that's the key there. So it's all about understanding yourself. So the one thing that I tell you to do is examine yourself. Examine yourself to the fullest. Know yourself in and out, head to toe to head, you know, left to right, front to back, the whole deal. That way, once you know yourself 100%, it makes it really easy for you to do several things. And those things become part of your fabric of who you are. And you're able to walk in that the whole time. And people around you just feel that. Like, me, for example, when people are around me, people know who I am. They know what I'm about. I give it to you straight, no chaser. This right here, this happens to be some Buchanan's 12-year-old scotch, by the way, and it is great. So, but what's up, Rod Flash? I see you, my man. So I was just talking about you. So what I'm saying to you is know what love is and what it means to you and how you can actually benefit from it, whether you're giving it or receiving it. And if you're able to do both of those, you would be amazed at the the beauty, the beauty of being able to have that experience and the bliss and the warmth of it all. So going back to the comments from last night, I want to make sure I get all these in before I get any further. Flash also said, like I said, you have to love yourself first before you can love someone else, and that's so true. And then my buddy Damian Jack, he says some try to use certain types of love to fill a void without taking the time to love self. See, so there is something that's constant here when it comes to love. Love thyself. Love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to love anyone else or even receive true love that could be coming your way. Because It is already a known fact that we look for the wrong thing in the wrong places quite often. And that's because we don't know what we want, who we want, how we want, or whatever. So put everything just for a moment before you go shopping, I'll say, right? Before you go shopping or you put yourself on the menu, re examine yourself. Think about who you are as a person. Think about what you want to be. Think about everything, how you want people to see you. And now, when I say that, let me tell you this: you don't live for other people, you live for yourself. You don't live for what somebody else is going to say about you. You live for yourself. It's kind of like eating. It's just like eating. You don't live to eat, you eat to live. It's the same kind of concept, right? So just keep that in mind. So getting back to the fact of just loving thyself, learning, and because all of that will help you to achieve that success of true love, of true understanding of yourself, true understanding of what it means to feel that. And you can identify it right away. And then you're able to give that, right? You know, I gave the analogy yesterday, example last night of I'm a technology specialist, 31 years. Because of all of that and all the knowledge I have in that arena, I'm able to teach someone and not even have to be in front of them, but I am paying it forward, giving it to them because I know it. I know what it is. I know what I'm looking at. I know when it comes to any part of technology, whether it's IT, whether it's interior low voltage wiring, any of that, I know about all of that. Networking, administration, security, all of that. And I can speak that, whether you're in front of me or we're doing something virtually. And that's me paying it forward because I know it. The same thing happens with love. Like everyone knows that Tim Wilson loves his wife, Anitra. Everyone knows that, which the umbrella that I'm getting ready to talk about knows that I'm in love with my wife. And I see several of you in here right now. I see Andrea Sweat. I see my man SJ1. I see Kevin DJ Vapor. What's up, my man? Salute, SJ1. I see DJ Lou Diamonds up in here. Casey Lee. I see Casey Bizarrio. I'm sorry about that. I keep forgetting that. And then Darlene, I see you. Gwendolyn, I see you. Michelle. So what I'm saying to you is it's all about knowing yourself and knowing what that is so that you can understand how to receive it and give it away. You get what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and get some more of these comments out the way. After that, after Damien Jack, Linda Palmer said, you know, that's right, 100%. And she was talking about what I was just talking about just now. Then Rod Smith came back and said, they might love you for the things you do for them. Another very good point. And I said at this particular time, in this day and age, there's a word that sits out there that freaks a lot of men out as it relates to women, but it's life and it's a known fact. And then you may find somewhere it freaks out the women because of the way the man is. But that word is independence. Independence is a very powerful word because, for example, like there's this song by Lettucey called Add to Me. And basically, she's asking you, how are you going to add to me? Because I can pay my own bills. I own my own car. I got my own house. I got everything that I want to live peacefully for the rest of my life. But if you're going to come in and be a part of me, what do you have to add to me? You know? So she's being the strong, independent one. Now, you do have those where love can also be a manipulator. And I'll say this why. Check this out. You have all of that. But again, you don't know who you are when it comes to your love situation. You don't know about the love. You don't know about love. You don't know what love is and all that. So you meet someone who pays you a lot of attention. But they ain't got jack. They ain't got nothing. But they managed to get into your head to where you fall in love with this person. and this person can't bring anything to the table. Nothing. Now, all that is yours is being utilized by this individual who has nothing. And now they are using you basically for what you have. Now, I'm not saying that all the relationships like that don't eventually sprout into something more and then flip the script and turn into some love, real love situation, you know. But all I say is whether it's male or female, however you guys, who found who or whatever it is in terms of who has the status and who doesn't, just keep your eyes and ears open and think about that. But again, it goes back to the fact of you have to re-examine yourself on a regular basis. You should be studying yourself on a regular basis with everything as it relates to you so that you are always on your square. Do I need to say that again? You need to always know who you are and know everything about yourself so that you are always on your square. Now, a lot of you might say, he's saying that because he's a Mason. Yes, I am a very proud Prince Hall Mason, but I'm just talking about it overall. You have to be on your square, meaning you have to know yourself and carry yourself in a way and in a format that when people look at you and they know you, they know who you are. Just like I spoke about 5 or 10 minutes ago. And that's all part of knowing yourself. Because if you know yourself, you're strong, you're confident, your wisdom is out there. You're able to spit knowledge. You're able to receive it without a complaint. You know, all of that. That's what that's all about. You know, open up conversations and be able to take them, constructive criticism, the whole deal. You're able to receive that because you're like a ball, you're like a huge sponge that can soak it all up. And then what you don't need, you can wring it out. You get what I'm saying? And that's how it goes with that part about the love part in the sponge. You're going to keep that because that's going to stick with you and become part of your fabric, your everyday fabric of who you are. That's what that's going to be. So we were talking about that. And then let me see, Flash came back and they said, Damien Jack came back and said, some people love the word love instead of displaying love, the action. So very true. You can tell when you truly love by your actions. Love is a verb. So very true. So very true. So when you have, let me make sure that I shout out my call box here in the comments because you guys are part of this. I see Reggie McCoy. What's up, Henry? How you doing? I see Keith Darden in here, and Lou Diamond, DJ Lou Diamond says respect. Yes, yes. I hear Hilda Freeman. I see you. I see you. Joe Packer. I see you, my man. All right. I see Ida, my cousin in here. Alonda Broom. I see you. And my cousin, she put up 3 strong arms. Yes. Evening, nothing but the truth. Yes. Hilda Freeman said that's nothing but the truth. Ida said facts, and she's listening. Yes. Nothing but the truth right there. Keith Darden even said it. And my wife, my lovely queen, she says, love yourself that you know what you deserve. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And I'll go into that. And then we got Gwendolyn Herring. She just joined. Now, just off of what my wifey said, right? You know what you deserve. That's the equivalent of saying, know your worth. Know your worth. See, all these things tie into this one big word, love. Love is a very powerful word. And guess what? Love is a central word. It's not one of these words that's sitting off on the side, on a shelf or whatever. It's like it's a centerpiece of your life. It's like a huge puzzle. If you're like a big puzzle, for example, right? If you're like a big puzzle, one of the bigger pieces is going to be that piece. When you look at it, it's going to have love on it because it's a big part of yourself. Because you could have love and never give it to anyone because you know what? You love yourself. You know what? You love doing what you do for yourself. You love taking care of yourself. You love pampering yourself. All of that comes into play. And if you know all of that and you got that in you and you know, and that piece, that puzzle piece is solid and is already in there. And it's kind of like one of them things back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember the 1,000-piece puzzle sets, and you would go through all the work of putting this whole puzzle together, and you're like, dang, I don't want to take this thing apart and put in the box. So what did we do? We figured out a way to flip this thing over and put duct tape on the back of it and hang it up, put it in a frame or hang it up on a wall or something. Do you guys remember that? That's what we did. But that one of those big pieces, that's that puzzle. And when you put that duct tape on there, it becomes part of you. It's a permanent part of you because you're not taking that piece out anymore once you get it. Because once you felt love, once you've known love, once you know how to love, all of that, it never leaves you. It's like the knowledge that you gain when you're in school or from some training or something like that. Knowledge is one of the things that nobody could ever take away from you. And that's the same thing with love. It's the same thing with love. Because once you know it, no one can take it away from you. Now, of course, love brings this thing sometimes because we get the sleight of hand situation. We're not watching all of this over here called hurt. But we'll talk about that hopefully on another show. Or we'll see what happens by the end of this. But I do want to get through these comments here. So Damien Jack, I was talking about, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. No secret there. I got Todd Mitchum here. And let me see. Love is the easiest word to say, but the hardest word to display. That's right. That's what Darlene Maynard said. Let me read that again. Y'all need to hear that again. Love is the easiest word to say, but the hardest word to display. That's powerful. That's powerful. Think about that. Let that soak in for a minute. You guys, each of you guys are a sponge. Let that soak in. And I'm hoping that when you wring it out, that sticks somewhere on your love puzzle, like a little dot, extra little color on your puzzle, so that you got that and you're sticking there, so to keep in your mind. And then Damien Jack said, he was talking about the Red Book because he is an author. And I was showing him that I have several of his books. We were talking about that last night as well. I want to make sure I mention everything. And then our friend Renee West, she popped in just to say hello. Our sister, Tanya Bannerman Mathis, she popped in to say hello. Then we had my cousin Geraldine. Now, I mentioned this, and I was saving this umbrella for last. I see my man Andre Robertson here, Cool DJ Dre. I see my man Charlie Rock in here, Todd Mitchum in here. Yes, yes. So before I mention this comment from my cousin Geraldine Tina Williams, I want to say this. With love, it basically falls under two umbrellas. Two umbrellas, and it starts out like this. This is love. But then you have something called in love, right? So love is, both of them have emotion, but they're different to who you're giving it to. So love is one of those things where you love your family. You love your brothers, you love your sisters, you love your cousins, you love your friends, your mom, of course, your dad, everyone, right? But you're not going to be in love with them, right? But it brings a level of emotion because if something happens to them or they may say something to you that really gets under your skin or whatever, it may emotionally tap you for a minute. But, that type of love is more of the type of love that you feel that is more of a on your own level love. You get what I'm saying? It's on your own level where you are trying to be better in life, and you have them as part of your partnership, as part of your lineup, so they're with you, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense with that. But then you got the one thing here that is in being in love. Now, like I said a few minutes ago, I love my wife and I'm in love with my wife, and everybody knows that. So, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And more men should be able to talk about love to their mates so that they know and understand what they're going through. Because one of the things, this is a sidebar, one of the things that we as men don't do is we don't tell people when we're feeling bad, when we're sick, that we need certain things or whatever. And definitely when we start talking about the love, LOVE, we will jet, yo. I remember back in the day when I was coming up and they was like, yo, son, let me tell you like this. You can get out here and you meet all the shorties, man, but yo, do not mention that. Don't mention that L word. They wouldn't even say love. They would say that L word. Y'all remember that? If you guys remember that, give me some likes. Give me some likes on that because I'm going to tell you, that was the way it was back in the day. You know, just like you used to have the little note, will you go with me? And you put a check box that said yes and a check box that said no, right? It's kind of that same thing. You know, it was all that private thing. It was that thing that you just didn't want everyone to know about or hear about or whatever it was, you know, because you're a dude, you macho. You ain't got time for that. Yo, you hard, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to step away from all of that and just be yourself, you know, be true to yourself, you know what I'm saying? But getting back to in love and love. So I think I've explained love on the surface, you know, of what it is. It has emotion attached to it, but it's not like you got a woman that you met. Yo, you check this out. Yo, you standing on the corner with your boys and everything, and this fly shorty, she walks by, and you like, yo, son, who is that? Man, I gotta go holler at her, man. I gotta go holler at her. So then you be like, hey, short, hey, love, how you doing? Hey, miss, how you doing? Can you slow down a little bit? Let me catch up to you so I can talk to you for a second. Y'all get to know each other, you know, you spitting game, y'all doing your thing, y'all talking, y'all seem to be building. Everything's good, you know, things happen over weeks, months, hey, even years, you know, and then all of a sudden, y'all are in love because you guys have built not only the love foundation for one another, because love comes in there with respect also, right? But now you guys are in love. Now your fabrics start to intertwine in terms of heart wise. Your hearts connect, you know? You guys are having some of the same feelings, which is why they always say, you ever heard of the saying where they say, I know my wife, I know my girl so good, I can complete her sentences and she can complete mine. That's what that is. That's being in love. When you guys look at each other and you look in your eyes, there are certain things about you that you are just so you're so touched that you feel something. You feel this tingling sensation. You feel this thing that no one else can do. If they looked you in your face, you'd be like, but when your mate look in your face, you're like, oh God, I can't, yo, whoo, Lord have mercy. You know what I'm saying? Darlene said there are different types of love. You have a agape, eros, and philia. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. And then we have Dan Wesson here. So when it comes to when it comes to the whole thing about being in love, you won't you it's that thing that just connects you guys to the point where you are just like so connected, so everything. And when you're in love, let me tell you, dudes, and I'll tell you also female ladies, depending on who's who or whatever, that's the one thing that could bring sorrow. It brings you. It can make you cry, even as a dude. And I'm not afraid to say, hey, sometimes dudes, we cry. And guess what? It's okay for a man to cry. As a matter of fact, you feel a whole lot better sometimes when you do. So you got and then it can also just build another part of you that could just really have you putting up a wall to protect yourself, a wall of protection, because of something that was done wrong or something that was said or whatever it may be. So there's a whole bunch of different things in there as it relates to the whole in love thing. So, but going, all of this happens um, when you go back to the fact that you are able to examine yourself and know what it is. That's the key. Because some people, I gave the thing yes gave the analogy yesterday of some people have a very high pain threshold. So you could literally be standing there stepping on their toes and they could not feel that pain. Whereas to someone else who knows themselves, knows their body, whatever it may be, they'll feel it right away. That's the difference. That's the difference. So that person that's standing there and you're like gotta he has a boulder on his foot and he doesn't feel it, that's because he doesn't know himself. He doesn't know what that feeling is, or whatever it is happening to his foot at that time is stimulating his brain and saying, "Hey, hey, dude, hey, rockhead, knock, 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 knock. Hey, man, you should be screaming right now. You should be, yo, you should be doing this right now." I speak that because several years back, it's been about 7 years. I had to do a test of the same. I did a pain threshold test because I have a very high threshold for pain, and the doctor was doing the test with me, and they had gotten to level 10. And at level 10, that was supposed to have been the highest one. I think there was one or two after that. But they said those other two would put you in a state to where either you're getting ready to go in a coma or you are on your way to seeing your maker. But at threshold 10, um, I just started barely feeling what they were doing. And they asked me, they said, "Did you not feel any of that up until this point?" I said, "No." And they said, "Man," they said, "when you start feeling this pain, you need to get somewhere right away because your threshold is a 10, meaning your pain is at the level of where a normal man is 10 times worse." So I understand that. I understand what that guy with that boulder on his foot is because for a long time I didn't know. But once I started learning myself and learning about what that pain, what different pains felt like, I started identifying, and you better believe me, I was getting out of that place and going to the doctor, doing whatever I had to do once I started feeling it, and just to make sure that I protect myself. So now getting back to the love situation, it's the same thing, y'all. You got to know yourself. You got to learn yourself. You got to know who you are in order to give it and in order to receive it. So let's go back here. Geraldine, the reason I talked about the in love one is because she said, what I hear and see the when I hear and see the word love, it is no greater affection that is than that coming from Jesus. He is love, very powerful. Coming from John 3 and 16. Yes, it is a strong feeling. And I mentioned about that and I said, that's because, like I mentioned, some people can even fall in love with their higher power. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Some people are in love with their higher power just as if the higher power is a physical mate, physical being here on earth. You get what I'm saying? It's the same exact thing. So that can happen. It's all, and the reason it's like that, and you can carry it, they can carry that, is because what is in here first. If it's in here first, if it's in them first, they're able to feel that because they know what that is, because they know who they are. So that's what the love and all of that is truly about. So you just have to really, really take some time to yourself to understand what this exactly is. And that ended all the comments for last night. But what I wanted to do with you guys today is if you guys have any comments, please talk about them. But also, what I wanted to do, I know there'll probably be a love part two, because I thought for sure that I would get a lot more responses to the flavors of love. But evidently, either people are afraid to talk about it, or they just feel that, you know what, I'll keep that one to myself because the person that I'm with, I'm not really giving them that. You know what I'm saying? Which is a whole nother piece of the pie in itself. So, but you are the individual that has to manage that. I'm not here to get anyone in trouble, not here to spark anything up between anyone or whatever. But these are just topics that I feel that have come up, and and I was like, you know what? As I am going through, I am truly going to utilize this podcast for the things that come my way, and if they come my way, I'm going to make sure that I bring it out. Because I feel that sometimes, have you ever heard where sometimes it said, sometimes what you're looking for comes in the form of of the voice of someone else to bring for that confirmation. Hopefully, the Lord is utilizing me to make that happen, to give you some confirmation on your thought or whatever it is. I'm not saying that I'm a prophet. I'm not saying that I'm trying to be a prophet. I love God. I have my I have a great relationship with my higher power, and it works well for me. It works well for me. But I know that there's been plenty of times that I've said things, and the person that I'm standing in front of said, you know what? I really needed to hear that because I was talking about that this morning and I was on the fence about that. So I'm hoping that what I am bringing to you would be that thing that would help you make the decision to, for one, really begin to re examine yourself. Wifey said, yeah, people are afraid. Hey, and there's nothing wrong with being afraid because, again, you don't know that you're afraid. You might not even know that you're afraid because, again, there's that piece of you that you may not know about yourself. It's only until you recognize that there is something within you that is just not right when it comes to dealing with people or dealing with someone or when someone that is really, really trying to get with you and just really trying to treat you right and you just don't understand why that you're like, hey, you know what? I might need to check myself out because this guy or this woman is staying around and they're doing their best to just really just talk to me and I'm blowing them away. And believe it or not now, check this out. It's already been said that a man findeth him a good wife, findeth him a helper, right? So, women, you're a lot of times are not going to go out and find your man. Your man is going to find you. So the man that you're looking for that may be like looking like The Rock, which is my wife's favorite, and and I could say that because we joke around like that. She's cool. Um, Guys that may look like the best on the outside or whatever. Not saying that Dwayne Johnson is someone else. I'm just I'm just saying this. Sometimes women want these big, pretty guys, muscle bound dudes or some dude that's loaded with cash and driving the fattest cars, dressed the best or whatever and everything. But when they get them behind closed doors, in a nutshell, they treat them like crap. Whereas you got this guy that's a hard worker. He get up every morning. He takes care of himself. He does the best he can. He goes to work. He makes his money. He takes care of his bills. And he sees you and he's like, "Hello, how you doing?" And you look at him. You just go, You turn your head up. But guess what? That's the one that the Lord could have put there in front of you to say, "Hey, this is the door that you need to open." So never ever. We miss our blessings a lot because of that. I see you, Jimmy Lightfoot, District Deputy 19. I see you, bro. We miss that a lot because we either decide that we are going to ignore something that's not aesthetically appealing, or you feel that they may not have this or that. Let me tell you, as a technology specialist, I've had the pleasure of working with millionaires, I'm talking about millionaires that have hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's been beautiful, beautiful to work with those guys because, hey, they treat you right. They pay you good and things just work very well. But let me tell you, some of them, boy, woo-hoo, because the money is the power. So everyone wants to be with a millionaire because they think they're going to get all this. I know some millionaires that had women and didn't give them jack except for the bedroom, period. Maybe give them $100 and $200. If you're a millionaire, what is $100 or $200 going to do for you? Nothing. Even if you give them 1,000, it's going to do nothing. But you thinking you got the world and you think you got them and you got nothing. Sure, you got enough to go and buy you something, but that money's going to be gone. And guess what? Just like Swiss Beats, one of them songs Swiss Beats said, on to the next one. Him and Jay-Z, on to the next one. That's the way that happens. So you got to protect yourself. And the only way you protect yourself is you know yourself. Again, love is powerful. Love is beautiful. And love can also be dangerous. But it's only dangerous when you don't know it. You get what I'm saying? So check yourselves, re-examine yourselves, and start studying yourselves so that you will be able to know how to receive it, know how to give it, identify when that door should be opened, and identify when you have to close some doors. Because, like I mentioned several minutes ago about the person that comes into your life and all they want to do is utilize you up, just like Flash had mentioned last night. That's the way it is. But what can you do? Barry Hood, Barry Hunt. I see you. So I think I've beat this into the ground. I will talk more about it. I'm quite sure we'll have a love part two. I thought I would have a part three pending the responses from my question. Again, maybe I need to ask it again. Maybe I got a few more people on here. And that is the love that you give. If it were a flavor, what flavor would it be and why? And the example I gave is my love would be filet mignon. And the reason it would be filet mignon is because the recipient would experience a well seasoned and tasteful lifestyle with my love. So if you can do that, Adrienne Harris, I see you. If you could think about that and ask that question, answer that question, that would be awesome. On my next podcast, I'm not saying this is going to be back to back, so it may be a couple weeks before I talk about it again. But I see you, Mixmaster TLC. Um, but when I come back to this, hopefully I'll have some more responses so that we can talk and we can even have some people call in. I can have you call in and you'll be a permanent part of it. Just as the comments are here and I'm reading the comments, um, and your name is on this podcast. This is a permanent part of the Square Not Live podcast archive. So you get a chance for that. And I would love for some of you guys who really want to talk about this and just like, get on the phone. I'll give you, 5-10 minutes. We can talk about it, and just share your thoughts verbally, and I can do that easily. Patch you right in. So that is definitely another option. Before I do forget, I want to tell you my podcast site is podcast.squarenotlive.com. And the actual website itself is squarenotlive.com. And there you will see where I did my website specifically for this. And also I did some of the like the video that you see now, those get posted there as well. And then my quote is at the bottom of each of my pages. Like I said, be real, be transferred, be honest, and you are guaranteed never to have to step over your words in the future. And I mean that. And if you guys disagree with that, test it and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because I know someone here who will tell you when you lie, you trip over yourself unless you are really, really good. Hey, you know me, I'm good. No, I'm just messing, just messing. Silent Professor. Yes, indeed, sir. I'm trying to do what I can. Yeah, I ain't gonna even repeat that, wifey. I don't even care about that. Now, if you would have said filet mignon, then we would have talked. You know what I'm saying? Stop that lamb chop. Anyway, so like I said, I really would like for you guys to share this podcast. And I also am going to, Podchaser is one of the podcast platforms that my podcast connects to, besides several others like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I'm working with Pandora, iHeartRadio right now, and I have a whole bunch of others. I'll read them all to you too, just in case you have those. I'm working on TuneIn and Alexa to be some of the other ones that I will connect to. So you'll get a chance to see all of those See me on all those outlets. And I am on quite a few right now. And let's see, right now, as it stands, I'm in Pocket Cast, Castbox, Podcast Addict, Listen Notes, Deezer, RSS feeds, Podchaser, Castro, Overcast, and of course, like I said, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And I will soon be on Pandora. And it takes a long time, about 4 to 6 weeks for them. And then iHeartRadio is about the same. So, but I want you guys to understand a few things as it relates to getting to know yourself. And I feel that some of this that I am sharing with you, hopefully it will stick. I can't make you do any of this. Like they always say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But the goal here is to give you food for thought. And again, I know I keep talking about my website, but believe it or not, I built this website. Um, it's been about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And when you first go to my website, squarenotlive.com, it says a podcast that is real, thought provoking, fun. That's at the very top. And that middle one there is what I'm doing right now. I'm giving you something that's thought provoking. And you're seeing a man talk about it. That right there should make you think enough. You get what I'm saying? So, and that's because I have no fear of talking about it. So I want you guys to understand and know that it's okay. It's okay to love. It's okay to receive love. It's okay to build relationships, the whole deal. But before you can do any of that, you have to know yourself. And when you know yourself, everything becomes so much easier at that point. So I think I'm gonna leave it here with everything. So if anybody has anything else, I will look in the chat box here for the next couple of seconds, maybe 10 seconds before I close out. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And I want to thank you guys for being here with me again. And I pray to God that the audio is in sync this time. This one will actually replace the one that's on my podcast right now. And we will go from there. And I want to thank everyone. Let me go back through the list real quick and just thank everybody here that popped in. Of course, my wifey, Mrs. Anitra Wilson, DJ Black Rob, DJ Dave G Soul. Got to check him out. Great guy, great guy. DJ Mike L, another great guy. Check him out, check him out. And I post them when they play. I post them directly to my timeline, so check them out. The Blend Princess herself of the GJ Information Group, and she is absolutely awesome. She has a great spirit. Miss Courtney, DJ Big Body, I call her BB, and she is truly an awesome woman. Check her out. And when it comes to those blends, yo, she got the fire for you. I'm telling you, she definitely has that. My man, Silent Professor, same thing, straight up. DJ Rod Flash, same thing. That's my brother. I'm telling you, we are all brothers and sisters in the DJ Information Group, and we heavy up in this particular podcast right now. Andrea Sweat, Sterling Pickett, that's my man, the Mega Supreme SJ1 from All Eyes on Me DJs. And I am also an All Eyes on Me DJ, a Fleet DJ as well. So we got DJ Vapor, Kevin Egan. He's in here. He's also a Square. Salute my Square, my brother. We have DJ Luke Diamonds. Yo, he is fat on the mixes and just the overall sets. Check him out. Casey Buzerio, check her out. Great. Her and her husband, they are great people. Absolutely awesome people. And we love them. Darlene Maynard, that is my brother's wife, and he's probably watching along with her. And I salute you guys for sure. Gwendolyn Lathan, that's my classmate. I call her Michelle. So that's my girl there. Reggie McCall. What's up, Henry? How you doing? That's my daughter's man there. And then we got Keith Darden. What's up, brother? We have Hilda Freeman. Yes. And then we have Joe Packer, my man from all the way out in Seattle, Washington. And you know what? Salute to Joe, because Joe supports me to the fullest. I mean, we are Cooper brothers, meaning, the acid cigars. And I will definitely have a session on cigars, Joe. And I definitely want you to come on. And I'm gonna bring you on so that you can actually call in so we can talk about them, bro. Um, yes. And he's just a great guy. He's from here. My wife knows him, knows the fam, the whole deal. But he's an awesome, awesome guy. Ida. Ida Bennett, that's my cousin down there in Clinton. Alanda Broom, that is my sister from the fantastic Prince Hall family. And I salute to all my Prince Hall family out there for sure. And let's see who else do we have here that came and stopped through. We have Gwendolyn Herron. We had Todd Mitchum, DJ Cool Dre, Andre Roberts. He has a story to tell you guys as well. And one of these days, we'll talk about that. And that pertains to the whole COVID-19 situation. Salute to him. And I thank God that he made it through. And I'll leave it at that. I won't tell the rest of his story. DJ Charlie Rock, Jacksonville. What's up, my man? Dan Weston, what's up? What's up? Mixed Master TLC. That's the Southern Soul connoisseur right there, y'all. Check him out. Check him out. Jimmy Lightfoot, again, Worshipful District Deputy Grand Master, my colleague of he's the 19th District. We have Barry Hunt. We have Adrian Harris. And let's see, Silent Professor, he's back. Yvonne Faison, that's my cousin. DJ Pac-Man is in the house. And then we have, I thought we had Tammy Maynard on here as well. And then we got my sister-in-law, Felicia, and my brother-in-law, EJ, is here. Salute to all of y'all. Salute to all of you guys. And I just want to thank you guys for coming on and listening to my take. Now, like I say, this is all opinion. This is all opinion, and these are my opinions and views. I'm not trying to tell you what your thoughts and everything is on love, but I'm hoping that some of the stuff that I said will stick with you and then become, like I say, that food for thought, that thought-provoking spark that gets you to look into some things as it relates to love and how powerful love is, what it could be for you, how you could put it in play, and how you know how to protect yourself and so on and so forth. So with that being said, I don't see any other comments in the chat box. So I just want to say you can visit squareknotlive.com. You can go to my podcast if you want to go directly to my podcast page at podcast.squareknotlive.com. And of course, if you want to see, I also have it on my DJ page, djsquareknot.com. I have a YouTube channel, the whole deal. So Square Knot Live YouTube channel as well, and a DJ Square Knot YouTube channel. So I just want you guys to know that I really appreciate you. My show, I do the Chill Zone every Monday night, 7 to 10 p.m. This particular Monday, I have a guest DJ that's going to come in and cover me because of a gig that I have. But I'm quite sure they will do an awesome job because All Eyes on Me DJs, we have some great DJs. So that's going to be all good to go. But look for me next week. I'll be back on my show and actually may have a guest. I may start bringing in a co-host to come and help me with the show from time to time. And she is totally awesome. So we'll talk more about that. But until then, this is your man, DJ Square Knot. I appreciate you chiming in on the Square Knot Live podcast. And we are out. Peace.